Hello again, and hello, it's Fo, and welcome back to our City Skylines playthrough. Last time we'd made it to Tiny Town. Gonna continue on from here, see if we can make it to the next milestone, get a few more roads in, get a few more zones established. First thing we're gonna do is use one of our new things we've unlocked, is getting a park. A park in the middle of your industry helps reduce the pollution. So that's good, and if we use the extra large park, then it covers pretty much everything we've built, covers the entire area. Fits perfectly in one of these squares that we've made. It's the exact right size, and as I say, it covers a huge area, makes everyone happy. So it's a no-brainer. We need to get in a high school, that's something we've just unlocked. The problem is we're not really going to have enough capacity in our elementary schools once we start zoning in more residential, so we'll have to get another one in there. We'll see if we can get round to getting a high school in, but it is quite expensive. We do need another fire station over here, I reckon, next to the industry. We'll put it on the main road again, it's better than put it on the side road. Hopefully their icons will change. They'll be happier that they've got closer coverage. We've also unlocked our paths. We've got bicycle paths and pedestrian paths, but the one that we've downloaded from the workshop is a combination of the two. So it does pedestrians and bicycles, so everyone can go on it. Can't imagine having to do two path networks. So if we try and use it without turning off the toggle snapping, it's a bit of a nightmare. So we need to get in sort of with the fine line here. Turn off all the snapping. Come up to the road and page up. You should be able to sort of fine adjust it. Often doesn't look straight once you've paged up, but sort of trust your gut. Take it across the road and then we'll come down on the other side. You can see where we came from. It sort of established a little path back to the pavement by itself. The game will sort of automatically fill in the difference for you. Get that one in. Then we need to repeat the same thing up at the other roundabout. Saves people try to use crossings on the edge of the roundabouts. Trying to go all the way down and all the way up, all the way across, all the way back down. It's much easier giving them a little shortcut across here. Connects the housing areas, can connect, housing across to people that work in the industry. Then we can take it across into our other sort of boxes when we make them. Seeing about the high school capacity, so we've got 132 kids waiting to go to high school, but there's no high school. It's got a capacity of 1,000, but it's hella expensive, so see, we'd want to put it sort of down here next to the bulk of our housing. Maybe coming down here by 3. Don't want to get too close to the highway. Let's do the same on the other side, but we're out of cash. So we'll let it run for a bit. And now we've got power issues. Again, it's $6,000 for a wind turbine, so we might want to up the budget a little bit. So we can get more out of the power that we've got. The wind turbines, sort of turn them up to max. We'll try up at 110. I think there's a difference between how much electricity they use in the daytime and the nighttime because of the business and the industry when they all go home at night. All the workers there, so seems to be okay for just now. Don't know for how long. Instead of having this coming down here as our next sort of road expansion, because we're certainly not going to have enough for the secondary school, your high school yet. I think we're more likely to get needs for more residential areas before then, so we'll see if we can come out here by 4. And that way we can make another block, as it were. Get a mixture of residential and commercial on that side. Try and take this out with the same over here. Get around to doing that. We've got power issues again, so yeah, we could wait to try and save up the 6 grand, but it's not going to help us in the short term. While we're here, don't want to have water problems stressing me out in the near future either. Turn that up a little bit. I don't think we need as much garbage, that's the thing that's costing us the most. So maybe if we turn that down a little bit, that'll allow us to turn up our water and power a little bit more. Because we don't have any icons saying that we're building up garbage anywhere, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. Reduce that a little bit to compensate. Make sure that we stay positive with our money. People are still happily coming in anyway. Seem happy enough. It's probably that new park we put in. They're coming from everywhere. Get the budget up. Hopefully 130 is going to be more than enough, and it shouldn't bother us again for a while. Let's maybe be optimistic. And once you've got up to 150%, there's nowhere else to go, so we'll see how that goes. Now they're desperate for housing, so I really have to put in roads rather than saving up 6 grand for another wind turbine. Come back one, so we're stayed aligned with that, the one across. I think we can come all the way out to this final marker, then we can fit in 3 extra roads along here, but now we're in negative money. It's not going to let us save up even for the road to complete what we were doing. So we'll zone in, get some housing in, we can pay us some taxes, and then we can buy our turbine. Bring this down again since we're putting everything else up. There we go. Now we don't have any water for these guys, should have thought about that first. Not enough money to get water from out there. Maybe if we take a sort of parallel line and come up just to sort of cover these guys mainly. And then connect it up at one end. See if we've got enough cash for that. Or we can get enough in a reasonable time. At least the money seems to be going up again. Not quite sure why it's suddenly dipped. It is slightly worrying. We can't take any more loans either, because we've already got 2 loans taken out. It doesn't notify you when you've repaid them. We can maybe go back and check and see if we've magically managed to repay one of the loans. But yeah, it is getting a little bit tight for money. Having to wait to build the roads and things. Could try upping the taxes, but it sort of discourages the growth of the city. I like to keep it 9% and have people well happy to come to the city. Everyone wants to live in Turbine City. It's really cheap to live. They all love it. I could put it up to like 12% or something and get a boost, but I really don't want to displease the citizens of Turbine City. So we're not going to be daft this time. We're going to extend this water. Get this in. Get our roads matched up. And we'll get this residential put in. Sort of a mirror image of the other side. And of course, I knew there was going to be little power symbols over here when I zoomed out. Again, it's going to take a while to save up 6 grand. I'm just going to have to keep upping the budget until we're up at the 150%, and then there's nothing else we can do. And then we really will have to save up for it. Now that we've got parks unlocked, I could put in a real money generator and get a little boost of 15 grand and just get things done, but that's a slippery slope. I'd rather stay as honest as you can for as long as you can. Sometimes it gets a bit frustrating that you need to sort of scrimp and save to build another road when you're sort of desperate to expand. They're all moving in fine. Seems to be quelling the residential need. Crisis averted. Can maybe save up. This is maybe the time. Yeah. We'll try 150 and 135. Like I say, there's a difference between the day and the night. When you have them at the same value, you always see the symbols pop up during the day and not the night. Oh no, there's one little power symbol down in the bottom corner. It's not going away. How much are we on? 4.5 grand. Oh, it's going. Oh, thank God. Got a bit of a reprieve. Just gonna have to save up this cash, I think. Bite the bullet. Get wind turbine in. Getting there. Oh, now we've got the power symbols. Yeah. Here come those ominous icons. It'd be really frustrating if you turned up for your first day on a industrial site, you know, start your new job. Oh, sorry mate, there's no power in the workshop today. Finally, here we go. I'm gonna get this wind turbine popped in. Try and avoid destroying these rocks. Maybe we can delete one of these underground power cables now that we've got that in. I think that should carry the power across that gap. Yeah, no problem. Hopefully that's going to be our power saga at an end for a wee while anyway. Was a bit of a battle getting that under control. Now we've got 10 megawatts in the surplus. I think we can ease it off 150. But I don't think 100 would be enough, so we take it down a bit, give ourselves a little bit more of a wiggle room. Yeah, it seems to be fine. Should take a little while before that all that electricity is all gobbled up. Pop our road down here that we wanted to put in earlier, so we can expand the industrial area. Maybe have just a single road coming off of here rather than trying to make it into a big full box. Once we've got the cash for it, we can maybe take it all the way along to the marker rather than having it come one back, because we can't come down and complete that box because of the highway junction anyway, so I'll take it all the way out to there. We can maybe take a parallel one out or 2 parallel ones out afterwards. Fill in this bit for just now. The water should still have that covered. Yeah, it does. Still got up that side of the main road covered as well. We could maybe have a section up there. I think we can safely come up as far as we have done on the other side, all the way up to the medium road. Don't think it poses any more of an ecological threat to the rest of the town. As long as there's sort of buffer zones in between the residential and the industry, should be alright. We've got enough for this. Yeah, I'm doing just enough for putting this road in. So it costs about 1100 for a road for that distance. Let's do a bit of zoning while we're waiting for another 1100, I think. The need for residential is still quite high. We've got a bit of a need for commercial, so we can put some commercial in the other side of the road. This means people don't have so far to walk to get to the other commercial, to get to the other shops. If you have a fairly big area of housing, you can imagine it's got a little row of shops in it. Most do, certainly around here. Need to get this water in as we get the cash. Because of course the people on that side of the road in the commercial zone aren't going to have water. Classic, first day of the job, you know. Open up a new Costa, no running water, first day's a disaster. There we go, get this in. Hopefully that water will start whooshing around there. There we go, sorted. Again, I want our water covered for a while, but we don't need to think about it. Well, I've got 2 of each sort of intake and output. We should have us covered for a while. You can see in the night the difference in the power. Certainly more than 5% difference, so we can maybe pop it down to 120. Maybe sort of 15% between the two. Oh, we've got a fire down in the industry area. But it's getting put out. Well done, firefighters. Yeah, it's strange at night as well. That's almost suspicious, you know. There couldn't have been much work going on. Someone's set that deliberately. Yeah, we've got police and we've got fire department, but not arson investigators. That's a bit they've missed there. Still got a heavy need for residential, so I think if we do a mirror image on this side, get this filled in, hopefully that's going to be enough for the meantime. Sort of want to do that other side more residential, but we'll put in more shops, keep it symmetrical. What pleases me more. Leaving that little gap, I just can't have that. Get that covered up right away. Should be the water covered for the immediate future anyway. We'll start building out on that right hand side. I'll have to remember and get water out there as soon as we start building in the roads. Looks like the industry wants more unskilled workers. We'll get that, I suppose, when the residential needs filled. Could really do with a 3rd loan, but I'll have to wait until the next milestone till we can get some cash. Here it is. So we've made it to 2,800. That's our next milestone, Boomtown. That's going to give us a bit of cash. Doesn't look like it gives us access to a 3rd loan, but a boost of cash is going to get us off the floor, as it were. We still need to get that. We'll probably have to spend it on the high school before we worry about the post service and taxis and things like that. I never put in buses. I prefer to use metro systems pretty much everywhere rather than using buses. But we've unlocked the transport now. Ferries as well down the river, I like them. Taxis I like to use at the airports or train stations maybe. The post service I put in, but I usually turn on the free Wi-Fi and the automated sorting to make the post service more efficient and easier. Can do ore industry, but we're not worrying about our industries until we've certainly built out of this square, until we get over to the outer squares. New policies, the free Wi-Fi I was speaking about. Got new roads, highways, finally the large roundabout that I wish you would get right at the start. Little highway ramps, things like that, access. We can do the ferry pathways, things like that. We've got the advanced wind turbine, which is better than your standard wind turbine. We'll get a few of them popped in. Cemetery we'll need to put in pretty much immediately. Elder care, child care, they're relatively new. We'll get them popped in. Post office buildings. So we'll go for all that in the next episode. See if we can get them popped in. Budget allowing. We'll certainly need to come back because we didn't get the high school put in this one. So we'll see you next time. Take it easy to learn.